So I want you to think about this. You can't be loyal to something that you don't have a memory of. By the very nature of the word loyalty, loyalty means that you've been there once before and you're going back. Make sense? So you're going, if you didn't have a memory, yeah, and every experience that you had was new, you wouldn't necessarily, you'd be picking out, things at random again, but you're going back. So loyalty is a function of memory. So the question becomes, is how are memories formed? And to reinforce that emotional bit again, our most intense memories are formed through emotions. So if you think back to high spots and low spots in your life, yeah, you think back to a common one of the Twin Towers falling. Most people can remember where they were and what they were doing when they heard that. Yeah. These are some of my memories. I was in the ground the night England won 5-1 against Germany, which was fairly significant for us. But and I've always been a great fan of Apple. These things are driven by intense emotions. Okay. And what Kahneman talks about, and he talks about this theory called the peak end rule. And what Kahneman talks about is that what we remember, and this is Professor Daniel Kahneman, he's won the Nobel Prize for Behavioral Economics, well worth Googling him. He talks about the fact that we have an experiencing self and a remembering self. An experiencing self is you here now, this moment. Okay? The remembering self is what will you remember in a couple of days? When someone says to you, you went to that conference the other day, what was it like? You'll go back and you'll remember things. So what was that? What was it like? Yeah? And that's your remembering self. And here's the interesting bit. The memory is more important than the experience. The memory is more important than the experience. And one of the things that Kahneman says is, we don't choose between experiences, we choose between the memory of an experience. Let me repeat that because I really want that to sink in with you. We don't choose between experiences, we choose between the memory of an experience. So memory and how you build a memory is key. And Kahneman talks about the fact that what people remember in an experience is they remember the peak end rule. Okay? And the peak end rule is basically what's the peak emotion that your customers feel and what's the end emotion that your customers feel. So go back to my challenge. What's the emotions you're trying to evoke? What emotions drive most value? So now let me ask you another question. Where is the peak emotion that your customers are feeling? Where is the peak emotion that your customers are feeling? And is it the emotion you want them to feel? And where is that end? And what is your customers feeling?